Hello, this is IGCSE Math 2. We are going over area, and the three types of area that we're referring to today is going to be triangle, parallelogram, which refers to the squares and rectangles, and trapezoids. So hopefully everyone has their calculator to be able to go through this. Starting off with the triangle, area is going to be 1/2 base times height. It could also be written as base times height divided by 2. This is normally the easier way to actually write this formula. So in this triangle we have, right here we have the base. So this is going to be the base, the bottom of this triangle, or this is the height here. So or on this one right here, the base, which I have listed here, and the height. Now on some of these problems they're not always in this orientation. It could be turned around, but this would still be the base. If I was looking at the triangle like this one would still be the base because the height has to be going up directly at a 90-degree angle from the base. So no matter what, so if I'm looking at this triangle right here, this one would still be the base because the height is going straight up from it at a 90-degree angle. So it's going to be perpendicular to the base. Now, parallelogram, area is going to be base times height. So here's a rectangle, base times height. Here's a square, base times height. Now, this is a normal parallelogram. So opposite sides are parallel. So those are parallel to each other, and these are parallel to each other. So the height, I put it in two different places because you're going to see it different ways. Height is actually the distance from the top to the bottom. So the distance from here to here is my height, where the base is going to be here. So it's going to be this one right here because my height is the distance in between those two. If I had this one orientated in this manner and these lines are parallel here, okay, these lines right here are parallel. If my height was going up and down in between these two, that would be my height, and that would make this one here my base. So it depends on how it is orientated. I need to look at where my height is given so that I can determine my base and my height. Sometimes you'll see the height out here on the side using a dotted line. That dotted line is actually not included into my shape. It's just telling you that it's going to be a distance from here to here. Now, my trapezoid area is going to be 1/2 height times the quantity of B1 B2. So it's going to be B1, which is the top, B2, which is the bottom. These must be parallel to each other. So we're going to add those two together. Okay, then we do the order of operations. So B1 plus B2. My height is here. Again, the height has to be perpendicular, going straight up and down. Now, right here, this is another way of showing this. If you notice, we have both these that are at a slant. So B1, B2. Height is the distance in between the two here. So my B1 and B2 must also be parallel to each other. So there to there, and going up perpendicular would be my height. So it's the distance in between these two. Alright, here's the first example. This is going to be a triangle, and we're going to have to try and find the area of this triangle. Now, this one is orientated that the base is actually going to be this side over here. This is the base right here because the height is going to be going directly up from there. So that little box means that that is going to be perpendicular. That's going at a right angle directly up. So this is going to be the height. Area equals base times height divided by 2. So it's going to be 9 times 6.4 divided by 2. So I'm going to take my calculator. Alright, on this problem right here, so I'm going to turn on my handy dandy calculator. Okay, so it's going to be, I'm going to do my order of operations, so I'm going to do the top here. So it's going to be 9 times 6.4, which is going to give me 57.6, and I still need to do divided by 2. So I can just go divided by 2, and my answer is going to be 28.8. Area equals 28.8, and my units on here are going to be yards, and area is always square. Whenever I'm doing the area of any shape, area is always going to be square. So that's going to be that square right there. Now, on this next problem here, this problem right here is actually going to be a parallelogram. So this is the parallelogram, and this dotted line right here signifies that it's showing the height in this manner. So it's orientated this way. So the height is the distance in between this one and this one. So that's this height going straight up and down. Now, this is something you need to pay close attention to because it's going to get a lot of people in trouble. Pay attention to the units. My units here are inches and the units here are feet. Now, the easiest thing to do is actually do a conversion. So I need to convert one to the other. So I can either convert my feet into inches, or I could do the inches into feet. Now, the easiest is going to be the feet into inches, because we know that 1 foot is 12 inches. So 1 foot equals 12 inches. So for this, I'm going to go 7 times 12. And that's going to give me 84 inches. So now from here I could do my area. So the area is equal to base times height. So my base is going to be 91.2 times 84. So go over here. 91.2 times 84 equals, I have 7660.8. Area equals 7660.8. Now with my units, I have this as my units inches, and inches are always going to be square. Now my third problem, my third example. All right, third example here. So this right here is going to be my trapezoid. On my trapezoid, it's going to be my formula area equals 1/2 height times quantity of B1 plus B2. Now, on this one right here, you have to look at what is my important information. Currently, my important information is my B1 here, my B2 here, and my height here. This thing right here is erroneous information. It's just throwing you off. This is not important to find the area. So this is unnecessary information. So I do not need that to find the area. I just need to know B1, B2, and my height, because those are my only variables I have here. Area equals 1/2. My height is going to be 3.6 times quantity B1, which is going to be, I usually go B1, B2. It doesn't matter. When you add them together, you're going to get the same answer. So I'm going to go with 4.2 plus this one right here, which is 8.4. So there we go, my B1 plus B2. Now we go ahead and, now if you got the calculator, you can go ahead and do the calculator, the whole thing. So it does the order of operation for you. So the order of operation would tell you to do this first, then we multiply this times this, then my two answers multiply together. So I will let you go ahead and do that, but on this one I'm going to plug in the calculator, show you how to do that. So it's going to be 1/2. So 1/2, which is that button right there, it's the fraction button, parentheses 3.6, close, that The parentheses is implying that there's going to be a multiplication happening in between those. Open parentheses 4.2 plus 8.4, close parentheses right there. So I have all that in there. Hit enter, and my area is going to be 22.68. So it's 22.68, and all my units are the same. So I should have pointed out earlier that you need to make sure to check that they are the same. So this is yards squared.